Welcome back to the show. 6:20 here in Central Arkansas, and the midterm elections are heating up. Quite a bit of money already being pumped into many of these races to go ahead and set the stage and define the narrative of the different candidates who are in the race. And without a doubt, one of the most highly viewed and sought-after race would be the re-election race of U.S. Senator Mark Pryor, and he himself has been hit from both sides already. Mayor Bloomberg has hit him on the gun issue, and we have Senate conservative groups who have hit him for his fiscal views and his vote on Obamacare. So he's getting hit quite hard, and turnabout is fair play. And the top Republican who is thinking about or being discussed as his running against him, Congressman Tom Cotton, has now been hit by a Democratic super PAC, Harry Reid super PAC, and this hits him on where he stands on the issue and the fact that he's a newcomer. I want to talk about this with the spokesman for the Arkansas Republican Party, David Ray. David, good morning.
Good morning, Alice.
Thank you for your time. Interesting, Congressman Cotton has not announced yet, but he is already being hit from those on the left for his views and where he has stood in Washington. I want to play this ad, and I want to get your thoughts on it right after this. But I want to point out the ad was put together by Patriot Majority USA and also Senate Majority PAC. It's a Harry Reid super PAC. We're going to play the ad, and I want to get your thoughts.
Tom Cotton, just elected and already seeking the national limelight.
Cotton spoke to CNN.
Fox News Sunday.
On MSNBC.
Behind the glitz, Congressman Cotton forgot about us, supporting a plan the Wall Street Journal said essentially ends Medicare, costing some seniors $6,000 more a year, while voting Congress taxpayer-funded health care for life. Congressman Cotton, out for himself, not us. Patriot Majority USA is responsible for the content of this advertising.
And now, David, with many of these ads, no matter who puts them out, there's often there's three sides of the story. There's the left side, the right side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. But you say this is factually incorrect from start to finish.
Well, it is, and the first thing I want to point out is that there's a reason that D.C. liberals are attacking Congressman Tom Cotton when he's not even announced what his intentions are for the next election. And that reason is because Senator Pryor has been named by National Journal, by The Hill, by all these Washington publications as the most vulnerable senator in Washington. And as you mentioned, this group that's running this ad is a Harry Reid associated super PAC. Now, there's a reason that Harry Reid is running this ad to prop up Senator Pryor. It's that he knows that Senator Pryor, if reelected, would continue to just be a reliable vote for the Senate Democrats, for their leadership, and for President Obama. Now, this ad in particular, the first thing I'd like to point out is that it's really just, in my opinion, very tasteless. Now, your listeners they were able to hear the ad, but they weren't able to see it.
Right.
In that first part of the ad where they say he's seeking the national limelight, the first interview that they throw up is when Congressman Cotton was invited on the 10th anniversary of the Iraq War to go on CNN and talk about his experiences when he volunteered to serve his country and go fight in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he appeared alongside his Democratic colleague, Tulsi Gabbard, Congresswoman from Hawaii. So, in my opinion, that part right there is just really tasteless. But to get to the substance of the ad, it repeats a lot of the Democrat talking points from 2012 that are just simply not true. Now, the first one is this claim that Congressman Cotton voted to essentially end Medicare. That could not be farther from the truth. What they're actually talking about is his support for the Ryan budget. It's a budget that actually balances and gets us on a path to fiscal responsibility. That claim that the Bryan budget essentially ends Medicare was named by PolitiFact as the 2011 Lie of the Year. They have these different ratings that they assign to claims that politicians make. They gave this claim the, quote, pants on fire label. So that kind of gives you an idea of where that comes out.
And just so folks understand what you're referring to, David, a lot of times these ads come out, and clearly the one who is attacked will run these up the the fact checker or the truth seekers, and the PolitiFact is one that's very reliable, and they'll check every fact, every line, every footnote in these ads. And as you said, this particular ad and this specific claim, as you said, received the pants on fire notification classification.
Yes, and PolitiFact, in case the listeners don't know, it's a Pulitzer Prize-winning, nonpartisan fact-checking organization. It's a project of the Tampa Bay Times, and they analyze these ads from all across the country. And really, honestly, they in a lot of instances, they tend to come down sort of on the liberal side, but on this, the claim is just so false it's impossible to ignore. Then they go on to claim that the Ryan plan is going to cost seniors $6,000 more a year. That's not true. The number that they claim in that ad comes from a study that was done, and it actually refers to the original Ryan plan, not the current one. And anybody that knows anything about Congressman Cotton knows he was elected in 2012. He wasn't in Congress to vote for the original Ryan plan.
Right.
So that's not even applicable to him. And the probably the worst lie in this ad is the last one, when they say that Congressman Cotton voted for taxpayer funding for his own health care for life. Now, what they're referring to is the vote to repeal Obamacare. Now, if you remember back to 2009, there was a lot of frustration with the public that Congress was making one set of rules for the American people, and they were going to continue to get their health care, their Cadillac health care plans paid for by the taxpayers.
Right.
So Republicans put an amendment into Obamacare to make sure that the congressmen and the senators had to enter into these health care exchanges themselves, that they had to live under the laws they pass. It's a great amendment. Now, what Democrats are doing, they're twisting themselves into a pretzel to try and use this against Republicans. What they're saying is, if we actually repealed Obamacare, we would go back to the setup that they originally wanted, which was that congressmen and senators would get taxpayer-funded health care for life. And Alice, this claim is so false. Even the New York Times came out and said this. They said in 2012, when the Democrats first started using this, they said, quote, "The accuracy of the commercials, judged even by the loose standards that often apply to political advertising, is open to question." So if you're a Democrat and the New York Times is calling you to account, then there's really something wrong with what you're saying.
Right. And that's as we know, oftentimes with these ads, there's not a lot of accuracy to them, but the key is to make sure to set the record straight and make sure that both sides are being truthful in this campaigning. And this is going to be a heated race. As you said, Senator Pryor's one of the, if not the most vulnerable. And we're already seeing ads from both sides attacking him, and already the Democrats hitting Congressman Cotton. And key is to keep it honest and debate the issues. David Ray, spokesman from the Republican Party of Arkansas. David, thank you so much for your time, and look forward to talking with you soon.
Thanks, Alice. Great to be on with you.